We have conquered Alexandria. The Muslim conquest of Egypt, 639 to 642 CE. In context, location Egypt. Before 1st century CE, Christianity reaches Egypt. Alexandria becomes a leading center of the new religion, together with Antioch in Syria. The Sasanian Empire occupies Egypt. 10 years later, an alliance with Emperor Heraclius returns Egypt to the Byzantine Empire. After 655, Muslim forces win the Battle of the Masts against the Byzantine navy to gain control of the Mediterranean Sea. 970, the Fatimid Caliphate founds Al-Azhar Mosque in Cairo, which becomes a major center of Islamic learning. 1154, Christian crusaders capture the Egyptian fortress of Ascalon on Palestine's coast. It follows the first serious threat to Muslim Egypt. Around 610 CE, the Prophet Muhammad began to receive divine revelations inspiring him to proclaim and preach Islam, a new monotheistic religion centered on one true God. He called on the people of Mecca in present-day Saudi Arabia to give up polytheistic worship, warning of divine retribution for those who refused. This angered members of the ruling Quraysh tribe, whose religious and political power revolved around their control of polytheistic shrines. They tortured and even martyred some of his followers, especially those of low social rank. Others fled. In the first migration of 615, Samini Muslims crossed the Red Sea to East Africa to seek asylum in the Christian kingdom of Aksum in northern Ethiopia. On the frontiers of Islam. When Muslims next arrived in Africa in 639, they came as an army to challenge the Byzantine Empire's control of Egypt, a wealthy trading nation rich in natural resources. The strategic objective of the invasion was to shore up earlier victories against Byzantine forces in Syria by curtailing any Byzantine retaliation from Egypt. Muhammad was a gifted soldier and strategist who combined warfare with proselytizing to win converts to Islam. By his death in 632, he and his followers had conquered Mecca, and Islam had spread throughout the tribes of the Arabian Peninsula. In 634, when Umar ibn al-Khattab succeeded Abu Bakr as Caliph, Islam's supreme political and religious leader, the Arab tribes were united under Islamic leadership. A Muslim base in Africa. Amr ibn al-As, a successful general, led the invasion of Egypt. His small 4,000-strong army first occupied Farama, Pelusium, the first port of the Nile Delta, and moved inland as reinforcements of some 12,000 men arrived. In 641, the Muslims defeated Byzantine forces at Heliopolis, north of modern Cairo, then overwhelmed the great fortress known as Babylon, just south of modern Cairo. The Arab army then marched on Alexandria on the Mediterranean coast. The Byzantine surrender in 642 left the entire country of Egypt in Muslim hands. Amr retained control of the lands he had conquered, becoming Emir of Egypt, or governor of Egypt. He adopted much of the structure of Byzantine administration, streamlining some parts and leaving others intact. He established a new city, Fustat, now part of Old Cairo, which became the first capital of Egypt under Muslim control, and several garrison towns, but there was no large-scale Arab settlement outside Fustat. Muslim victories in North Africa from 647 to 709 and the expansion of trade across the Sahara fueled the great spread of Islam. The Saharan Berbers and Sudanese merchants were early converts who, together with Muslim clerics and scholars, promoted the faith. In West Africa, the first ruler to convert was the king of Tekrur in 850, and others followed. In later centuries, empires rose and fell, and European powers colonized the continent, but Islam persisted and is still the dominant religion of the northern half of Africa. Amr ibn al-As surrounded them in the fortress, which is called Babylon, for some time, and he fought them intensely day and night. Ibn Abd al-Hakam, Arab historian, 803 to 891.